Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about Anderson bridge, which is used to measure the inductance. So earlier classes, we discussed about DC and AC bridge basics. DC bridge also we discussed that is used to measure the resistance. The bridges are used to measure resistance are Wheatstone bridge, Kelvin bridge, mega ohm bridge, etc. Among this, Wheatstone bridge and Kelvin bridge are the bridges available in your syllabus. To measure the inductance, the methods are Maxwell inductance bridge, Maxwell inductance capacitance bridge, Anderson bridge, and High bridge. To measure capacitance, sharing bridge, and to measure frequency, Wien bridge. So, among these inductance bridges, these are the types. The Maxwell inductance bridge is to measure the self inductance. Maxwell inductance bridge, Maxwell inductance and capacitance bridge used to measure the same self inductance, but a Q value in the range of 1 to 10. The Hay bridge, the range of QL is greater than 10. Anderson bridge, the value of Q should be less than 1. So, by comparing this, we can conclude that the Anderson bridge is used to measure the inductance as well as it is suitable for the measurement of inductance of low Q coils. Wherever low Q coils are there, on that cases we can use to measure the inductance with the help of Anderson bridge. Here the Anderson bridge is a modified Maxwell inductance capacitance bridge only. So in this bridge the balance is obtained by adjusting the two standard variable resistance and the standard fixed capacitance. So why we go for this Anderson bridge? So the main disadvantages of Maxwell bridge is that they are unsuitable for measuring low and high quality factor, that is Q factor. This type Anderson bridge particularly useful for to measure low Q coil inductance. Right? That purpose only we are going to use this Anderson bridge. So this is a circuit diagram of Anderson bridge. Here arm 1 consisting of inductance L1 in series with the equivalent resistance R1 along with the L1 R1 small R1 also connected in series with this unknown inductance. Then a resistance R3 is connected in the arm 3. Similar way, a resistance R2 is connected in the arm A to D. Along with here in arm 4, a resistance R4 is connected. This R4 is shunted with a series combination of the standard variable resistance R and the capacitance C as shown in this figure. Right. So here AC voltage applied in the terminal of in between A and C. If the bridge is balanced, then there is no current flow flowing through this loop. So this current I1 equal to I3. Actually, the current flowing through the arm 3 is I3, but there is no current flow in this detector. So I1 equal to I3. That's why I am replacing this I3 as I1. Similar way, the current flowing in the arm 2 is I2, that is divided into two parts as per KCL. So I2 equal to IC plus I4. Because of this detector detecting zero current, the same IC flowing through this arm also. Right? Okay. Now I am considering three loops. If I consider the first loop, this is the first loop, A, B, E, D, A. I am applying KVL law here. So current flowing through in this arm is I1. So I can write R1 plus small r1 plus j omega L1. And if you come here, the loop direction of current is opposite to the current direction of IC, so that I put minus here. So IC, or again I put minus because the current flowing in arm 2 is opposite to the loop current direction. So minus I2 R2, that is equal to 0. If I bring this terms in the right hand side, I can write I1 into R1 plus small r1 plus j omega L1 equal to ICR plus I2 into R2, that is expression number 1. Now if I consider loop 2, the loop B, C, E, B, anyway this is open, there is no current flow here. So if I write the equation here, I1, I3 minus IC into 1 by j omega c. This is minus because of opposite current flow. So minus IC, here capacitor is there, so 1 by j omega c, that is equal to 0. From this I can write I1 R3 equal to IC divided by j omega c. So here I can calculate IC equal to j omega c I1 R3. This is the expression number 2. Now if I consider loop 3, this is the loop 3, the loop is E, C, D, E. If I write equation, so here current flowing through this capacitor is IC, so IC into 1 by j omega c. I put minus here because the opposite current flow. The loop current and this current direction of arm 4 is opposite. So minus I4 R4 plus here the same current flow, this variable resistor R. So IC into R equal to 0. Here in this first and third term IC is common. If I take IC as common term, 1 by j omega c plus R, that is equal to I4 into R4. Right? So from the diagram, I wrote the equation as I2 equal to IC plus I4, this KCL, I2 equal to IC plus I4. From this I can write I4 equal to I2 minus IC. So this function I am replacing here. So I am getting this expression as expression number 3. Just I replace I4 here with the expression of I2 minus IC. So now I wrote 3 expressions based on the loop. Now this is equation number 2 we already discussed. This is the equation number 3. Now I am going to apply this IC current equation in this equation number 3 in this place. If I replace here, I can get j omega c I1 R3 multiplied by 1 by j omega c plus R equal to I2 minus I. Here also IC is there. I am going to replace this IC here also. Right? If I replace, I am getting this expression. Now I am going to multiply this term. This is common for this bracket. I am going to multiply this. If I multiply, I will get this expression. So here the expression I1 R3 plus j omega c into I1 R3 R, that is equal to I2 R4 minus j omega c I1 R3 R4, right? Okay. Now from this I can write this expression number 4. If I bring this term in left hand side, this become plus here, right? So this is the expression number 4 I2. Now from equation number 1, this is the equation number 1. Here also I am going to substitute the equation of IC, right? If I apply this IC, I can get the expression look like this. So here in this expression I am going to write I1 into R1 plus small r1 plus here j omega L1 is there, here j omega c I1 R3 into R is there. Anyway, j omega is common, right? Because if I multiply this I1 here and here also I1 is there, so that I can take j omega I1 as common term. So L1 minus CR3 into R, that is equal to I2 R2. From this I can calculate I2. Expression 4 also I2 equation, expression 5 also I2 equation. Now, so both are I2 equations only. So I am going to equate both. Expression number 4, expression number 5, I am equating on both sides. Now I bring this R2 in the numerator of left hand side equation. So I am getting R2 divided by R4 into I1 R3 plus j omega c I1 R3 R plus R3 R4, that is equal to I1 R1 plus small r1 plus j omega I1 into L1 minus C R3 into small r. Now I am going to separate the real and imaginary part. Right? After that, I am going to equate real and imaginary part. First, I am going to equate real part. If I equate real part in the left hand side, R2 divided by R4 into I1 R3. Here also in the right hand side, the real part is I1 into R1 plus small r1. If I equate both, this I1 and I1 are cancelled. Now I am getting R1 from this. R1 equal to R2 divided by R4 into R3 minus R1. If I bring this R1 in this left hand side. So this is the expression of R1. Now if I equate imaginary portion, if I equate imaginary portion on the left hand side and as well as right hand side, I am getting this expression. Here j omega and j omega cancel on both sides. Now I am getting this expression. Anyway, this I1 also cancel. Right? J omega and I1 cancel. So C R3 R into R2 divided by R4 by multiplying this inside of this expression. Right? So here C is available. C R3 R into R2 divided by R4 plus. Here C already exists. C R3 R4 into R2 divided by R4. Here the balance terms available are L1 minus C R3 R. If I bring this CR3R in the left hand side, I am getting L1 equal to CR3R2 into R divided by R4 plus CR2 R3 R4 divided by R4 plus CR3 into R. Here I didn't cancel this R4 R4 because I am going to take a common term. So in that case CR3 divided by R4, if I take as common term, I am getting a R2 into R plus R2 into R4 plus R4 into small r. This first and third term small r is constant. So I'm going to take is a common. Now the final expression of unknown resistance L1 is CR3 divided by R4 into R2 plus R4 into small r plus R2 into R. This is our aim, ultimate aim to calculate the unknown inductance of this Anderson bridge. So now what are the advantages of this Anderson bridge? It can be used for accurate measurement of capacitance in terms of inductance. Other bridge require variable capacitor, but a fixed capacitor can be used for this Anderson bridge. This bridge is easy to balance from the convergence point of view compared to the Maxwell bridge in case of low value of Q. Mainly this Anderson bridge used for the purpose of low Q inductance. But the disadvantage due to the more component, it's more complicated than other bridges. So that's the same point given in the point number 2 also. So balance equation also complicated to derive compared to other bridges. Bridges cannot easily shielded due to the additional junction point to avoid the effects of stay capacitances. Thank you.